Hello, it is the one and only Dr. Sowande Mustakeem. I am back and I am excited to come back and to empower as I continue to activate and acknowledge this very special group, senior faculty, those across the multiverses within academia. This is another episode of No First Time Junior Faculty. So today we're going to continue the conversation about keeping you empowered on the pathway, because that's what's happening. It's not just today, not just tomorrow, but there really is a long future. And again, I'm so excited to be back on the airwaves, able to empower even in mere minutes, because we all need some tips along the way, because we're so busy, but yet at the same time, don't you want to be in the know? Well, that's what I'm doing today, again, to take us to the next level, thinking about not only professional development, but self-development and self-evolution in and on the pathway. Again, you're on a path that is going to take you very far. Your destiny is here and is right there waiting. So again, I wanted to come on and talk. Well, we're going to keep it karma and destiny in all the amazing ways. So you create your future in all the ways that you design and also that you plan out. So jumping right in, the first thing I wanted to start with, because this list could be moved backwards and forwards, but understand it in all the directions and what it is that I'm offering. The first thing is you've got to learn your habits. Learn your habits, then you can learn yourself. And I know that may seem like, I know myself. I know how I am. I know how I do. All right. What does that look like in a new environment where everyone is excited to see you, but there's also still the future that is evolving? Now, in this is where we want to, when you can understand yourself, then you can understand really how to move forward. Broad, let's just even start with, think about the season. When is your best season? If you were to look in the past 5 years, maybe even 10, however long it took you through grad school, you will remember, when did you find out, whoa, I was on it? And then when were the times that you want to do less of what you would hope to do? Let's go ahead and say that. So I discovered myself in grad, and it has helped me on the pathway. That means I realized that winter is my season. You can't call me and tell me to ask me to be everywhere when we're snowed in. So winter really over time became when I could go in deep. I know winter's coming. Whoa, I could be the best around winter. Articles in the winter. I finished all kinds of things. So you got to find yourself. Again, how are you in the spring? Because you may be here, there, and everywhere. And then this summer, your energy, of course, is going to be very different because you don't have meetings. You don't have everybody over here like, what are you doing? How are you doing? Now, in the fall, we're supposed to be getting ready to get it together if we're not already. Of course, we're now, 5, 6 weeks into the semester. I want you to really think about how has your energy been in the fall. Now, let's even go even more direct. Pay attention to the patterns of how you are. Even if just looking Monday through Friday, how are you every Monday? What do you lean towards? On Tuesday, how is your energy? What about Wednesday? Do you move a little bit different? Do you find, same thing, Thursday. Do you move in a different way? Are the conversations or the leanings? Really step back and look. Every week, I am drawn to this on this day. Here we are on a Tuesday. Tell me Tuesday. Now, with this show and all of what I do it when I feel like it, because I understand time management. I use my energy in all the right ways. That's it. I understand, and I give myself permission to do the things on the days that I lean towards. So Monday and Wednesday, that's teaching days. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, those are my days. But then those can also be peppered with meetings. But then I also know on Tuesday, well, that's when I can really, finally able to sit down with my work. Thursday, I'm really thinking about how to thrive on the pathway. Friday, I discovered this in grad school. That's when I am ready to share with the world, because that's the day that I was born. So to be born on a Friday for me is like, yeah, it's fun Friday. But I also found that Friday is when I can market easy. And we'll get into that conversation in the future, because no, your advisor did not talk to you about academic marketing. Well, we will go there. All right. So the thing is, learn yourself and learn your habits, because then you can know how to structure your days, your time, and get things done the way you want to. I wanted to start there because, let's face it, you are right. You're starting over in a new place, a new environment, new people, new culture, new everything. So in all of it, it can be overwhelming, but learn yourself. So, wow, you can go much further. All right, so let's keep it moving. So connected with that, next is, you're going to always hear me say this, focus on that long game. That's what it is about. Of course it is achieving tenure, but then well beyond. And then there are just even our own personal goals and our expansion of who we are and the things that we do. So when I say focus on the long game, this is almost two parts. Where do you somebody would say, where do you want to be in 3, 5, 7 years? Okay, all right. Well, you could break it down into semester by semester, so full year, school year, or you also can focus on what is this long game for even one semester. Now, one way of doing that is to think about your personal goals, your publishing goals, as well as your professional goals in a whole other way within the department, and then you can see how you want to allocate your energy. So it would also, I encourage you to think about your publishing goals. What is it going to take in your field to get tenure? This is now where, knowing yourself, you also got to know where you are. So this is almost like a side point. I know you did the research when you were applying for the job and interviewed and all of that, but now really go assess the landscape. I know I mentioned this in the first episode because to know who the most productive are, you got to go look at what have they done. So you want to understand the publishing culture. That's another thing that's sort of coming through that I was going to be getting to. But you want to understand your publishing goals, as well as, I guess the third point is saying, learn the publishing culture of your place where you are, your university, your college. Because every university is not the same. They do not see presses the same, and they do not see journals the same. Okay, recognize that. One department can be different from a whole other, it may feel like, with the rest of the university. And you have to know, because then you can know how to move. But I want to go back to, again, focus on your long game and really think about your publishing goals. Okay? So create, whatever way that you can break it down into pieces that are manageable for yourself. So again, the third point that I would get to that was interconnected directly is learn the publishing culture at your case in point. Early on, I thought I was going to publish with another press. And then it was like, well, you could publish with them, but you won't get tenure here if you go that route. And that caught my attention. So then all of a sudden I realized, oh, well, I guess I've got to have this special press, the Ivy League, whatever. It became so many different interpretations on what was the best press, that the best advice that I could have gotten, which really is what I encourage, is to focus on the acquisitions editor. You will know the editor that you can work with will then help navigate the book in the right way. Now, in understanding the publishing culture, you also want to understand the profession as it is evolving. So a university may be still trying to understand your field, but then you may be a part of that, which is evolving in a whole other way. So again, using myself for example, that is, my book is in the new Black Studies series with the University of Illinois Press. I chose to go with what I saw was the top press, or among the top, in my field. And that for me was the most important. It's, other people are going to have perceptions on what is the best. And some people are also going to some people will try to steer you the wrong way. So remember that mentors come in varying forms, but then also so understand your publishing goals, but then also understanding the publishing culture of this beautiful university that you find yourself at. All right. Now, connected with that even more. Now, this was what I was really this was fun for me. But the next point, the fourth point, is meet the editors, then you can meet the future. And those who know me, they know that I love meeting people, but it was even more fun to meet all the acquisitions editors for the various presses. I used to go to conferences and I would set up meetings with these editors because you can meet with 1,000 editors. Then you still can only really go with one press for your book to go through, hopefully out so that it can get an ISBN. What is important is now you want to go and look at, and I encourage you to really look at the spine of your book and looking at those presses that are among those tops you know that you're leaning towards, like, this is where I want to go. Now you want to go find out who's who. You want to have an introductory email that you will send as a template to all these different editors. And then you want to set up a time to talk. Just to simply talk. Introduce yourself, really ask them questions about the future, and perhaps if there's a series or where they're hoping to see more books come and go in the future, to really take the press at another level. So there's a lot of other things that I'll encourage you in the future, but make it a point now. I did that like my first send an email, set up a conversation. Really ask them, what books are you excited about that are coming out? Who are the stars? At one point, I was at a dinner with several editors, and it was amazing because I was able to really hear the diversity of so many types of projects that were coming through different presses. And let me remind you, because these editors, they talk. So you're not going to be doing anything if you go, oh, I'm talking to this one and I talk to that one. There's a much bigger umbrella going on of connections. But you want to make it fun, and you also want, when I say fun, that means enjoy getting to know new people. So again, meet the editors, meet the future, and I'm always going to plug for Illinois, University of Illinois, as well as University of North Carolina Press. So you should go look up who the acquisitions editors are. All right. And I also would have to, more is just coming. All right, so again, meet the editors, meet the future. Now next, and I really want the next point, I think this is about the fifth point, that's important to understand at this moment, is it's important to make friends and connections in the profession. It matters. It pays off. It's all connected and interconnected, and get excited about that because when people know you, they can advocate for you. So I'm going to encourage you to make even more friends, but on your terms, strategically, in all the right, productive ways for an active future. I want you to listen because everyone is not talking about this. Friends, not only within the profession, sure, there's plenty of junior faculty out there, and we know that there's junior faculty, then associate, and then there's full. So you know what? Just go straight to the top. Go straight to the top. I encourage you now, here forward, to go email, connect, introduce yourself to at least 2 to 3, maybe, I don't know, in your field, full professors that maybe don't know you, but who you admire their work. You really hope that in the future, maybe you can connect, collaborate on some level. But make it a point to make friends with full professors. And I'm saying this openly because there is a emerging change within academia. Best way for you to be prepared for the changes is to have friends in many places, and most especially among full professors. Think about it. Not just your university. We're talking across the country. So you can't say you didn't know. Again, make friends in high places, and they all will work themselves out. Now, the sixth point that I want to get to, I will probably continue to emphasize it over and over and over, is quite simply stay out of the drama. Let's make it even more. I want to give you just a visual so you can understand. The best way, stay out of the interview room. What that means is you're going to have to pick your battle. But the best way, the best pathway to productivity is, if we think about an interview room, there's always the room on the other side where we can be in surveillance mode. We can just observe, take it in, but we do not have to be the center point. Keep yourself out of the drama, because wherever there are humans, drama emerges. Wherever those egos persist, wherever that social awkwardness persists, drama can detonate. So, again, stay out of the interview room. That can help you to stay productive and not to get caught up in other people's moments, emotions, feelings, or expectations. I hope that I am making it very clear. Just stay clear of the battle. You will go much, much further on the pathway. So again, I've been giving 6 points. And a lot of this, again, this is all teacher looking, directed, and intentionally focused for you. And I'm going to go back over these 6 points again. But I still also have a 7th special point for you before we go. Again, learn your habits, learn yourself, or learn yourself, learn your habits. You got to know how you operate, how you are. When are you productive? In the morning, in the evening? Is it on the weekends? I hope it's more than the weekends. But you got to figure out, what's my day? When am I on? When am I off? You got to know when's your season. All right. Learn yourself, learn your habits. Next thing is focus on the long game. Think about your publishing goals. What are your publishing goals? The long game cannot just be tomorrow. Long game, yep, 5, 7, 10 years. Okay. All right. Publishing goals. Focus on the long game. Third point was learn the publishing culture of your department and, more importantly, your university. If you have to come out with a book, you really want to know the publishing culture at your university, but again, within your field, where and how can you be essentially the star within your field, right? Next point, meet the editors, meet the future. Meet the acquisitions editors, and you can meet the future. And hey, you also maybe even want to meet some editors for journals. Other opportunities may come. You just never know. All right, the next one I had reminded us is make friends in high places. Make friends in high places. Can I know? Make friends in high places in all the right ways. But the best way to do that is do your work. And the way that I do that, the way I introduce myself to people, some who I never met, but I did email to be like, oh, I was so inspired by you. I wanted to share this new article of mine that just came out. Things like that. And you'll be surprised how much people actually really appreciate that. Some, not all. But again, make your friends in your high places. All right, the last one, again, that I was reminding you that is central in all of this, stay out of the interview room. Let the drama just blow away. You don't have to be the problem solver for everything at every moment. Now, I know that I said I was going to give one more special key point. It's because I would be remiss if I didn't. And that is, there are those who aren't, of the stars and the movement of the planets. But I will tell you this, that right now, as I'm talking to you, as this is live and broadcasted from St. Louis, Missouri, we are fully in Mercury retrograde. Now, I know some of us do know about it. It's trendable. You can even go on Twitter. Mercury retrograde, what's that? That means when the planet Mercury, which rules the mind, our communication, and a whole lot more, and about even how we think in the future. Mercury is going backwards. It is moving backwards, so the universe is inviting us to think about, to review, to reassess, to go back over. What did this mean in your life? And where it is, that means that students may all of a sudden be confused about the syllabus that we have talked about for 5 weeks. All of a sudden, people just stop talking, or they may say things that they thought they heard, they did, they didn't, over the next 3 weeks. Travel may be delayed. If you're thinking about buying some technology, I might wait a good month if it's going to be some hardcore technology. Okay? So now you're in the know, but this is still connected even with that point of learning yourself and learning your habits. Because for me, this came later, but to integrate more astrology in my life has helped me know how students are going to show up in class, how I'm going to feel. So I would encourage you, hey, go learn about the moon. Then you can really be empowered on the pathway. Learn about crystals and how to work with energy and vibrations, I've been doing it. I'm definitely going to be talking in the future about crystals and brain herbs and really how to know how you operate, how to really intellectually and how to almost vibrationally nourish yourself on the pathway. So again, this final special key point that I was saying, the number 7, which is all about the sacred, but it is also the awakening number. You really want to become more attuned to the cosmos because right now we are in Mercury retrograde. It started on Sunday and it will continue for the next 3 weeks with 2 weeks extra. That means 3 weeks in its strongest and then 2 weeks after it will be in a post shadow. So just slow down and also plan out. Again, I've given us 7 key points to activate a very wonderful future for yourself. It's thinking about the now, the here, the how, and the evolution. So again, I am the one and only Dr. Sowande Mustakeem. And again, I'm just giving a special shout out to the junior faculty out there. Again, this is Notes to a First-Time Junior Faculty, and we talk 6 key points to an active future. All right, I will talk to you soon. Be empowered, and hey, right on. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.